Aloha, I'm Kala'i Miller and welcome to Home is Here. Living in Hawaii, you've probably heard the name Clarence T.C. Ching. It may have been because of a scholarship or charitable donation, or maybe you've seen his name on a building. But who was Clarence T.C. Ching? That's what we're gonna find out.
My name is Raymond Tam. I'm the nephew of Clarence Ching. My mother was his older sister. He loved to play golf. He used to play golf all the time. I've never played with him, but he used to see me at Waialae, and he used to laugh and encourage me because I was not that good. He loved to travel. He loved to go to Las Vegas. Basically, he loved his work, his family, enjoyment of life. He was a very good, humble, successful man.
My name is Kathy Ching, and I am the granddaughter of Clarence Ching. I'm hearing stories of him shopping at JCPenney's as opposed to Liberty House, which was the big department store at the time. I remember him not driving a fancy European car. It was always a typical, American-made kind of car. A very modest kind of lifestyle too, which I appreciate. As an adult now, I see there's value in that. Not entitlement, that groundedness, which is very different now from a lot of people. And when they make a lot of money, they want to spend it and show off and be flashy. But I recall him remembering his humble beginnings and not being like that.
My grandfather came in 1881. They brought Chinese workers, coolies, to work either in the pineapple field, the sugarcane field, or the rice fields. And he was brought to Hawaii to work in the rice fields in Kauai. They provided a shack for him so that you can understand how they lived. This was a shack for he and his wife in the hillside of Anahola, Kauai. No running water, no electricity. So it was a really tough beginning.
They had 11 children. My grandfather was number 5, I believe.
My grandmother had bound feet. Back in 1880s, in China, it was fashionable to bind a girl's foot. It made them very attractive because the people with the big feet had to work in the fields. But as a result, she couldn't run, she could hardly walk, she could hardly stand up. And because she could not run after the children, when my mother was born in 1905, she was the oldest daughter. And my mother then became the matriarch to run the family. They're very poor, but they recognized that Clarence was very bright, unusually bright. So in the 8th grade, they sent him to Honolulu to attend St. Louis School, and that was 1928. They all pooled together all their monies, nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars, pooled it together to pay the tuition to St. Louis. And then the whole family emigrated to Honolulu. He went to St. Louis, he excelled. He became president of his class, and he became a featherweight champion boxer.
My grandfather only graduated from high school. He didn't go to college. He didn't have the opportunity, like many immigrant families.
He wanted to go to work so that he could make monies to support his 4 younger brothers to get the same good education that he had at St. Louis. So he worked to pay their tuition. So Bernard, Herbert, Gilbert, and Leonard all graduated from St. Louis at various years. He married Dorothy Tom, and my Aunt Dot had a grocery store. was a mom and pop store in Damon Tract. And the one feature about the store was they had a liquor license, and you could sell beer, wine, whiskey. So when World War II occurred, December 7, 1941, on the very next day, December 8th, martial law occurred. The military came in, they rationed everything. Rationed gasoline for the car, rationed butter, rice, meat, chicken. So in order to buy all these products, you had little coupons. And so the head of the Damon estate was Sam Damon. Sam Damon loved his whiskey. And so he would go to the Damon Tract store, and Clarence, Uncle Clarence, made sure that he gave him all the liquor and whiskey he wanted by using everybody else's ration cards. Sam Damon and Clarence became the very absolutely best of friends. One day, Clarence was going to San Francisco. I believe it was Pan American, and there was all open seating. And by chance, Sam Damon was also going to fly to San Francisco. And high over the Pacific, Sam Damon said to Clarence, "You want to buy the ahupua'a of Mauna Loa?" He said, "Sure. How much?" He said, $9 million. Clarence laughed. He said, "You gotta be kidding me. I don't even have $9,000. I can't pay you." And Sam Damon said the three words that are so important in this case. He said, "Clarence, I trust you." And with that, they shook hands on an agreement of sale. No lawyers around, no real estate brokers, no CPAs, just the two gentlemen sitting together on a handshake, the ahupua'a of Mauna Loa, from Tripler Hospital all the way down to John Rogers Airport. And that's how he started in real estate. He came back home, called his classmate, KJ Luke, became partners, and together they developed all these lands.
My grandfather was a rather quiet guy, pretty taciturn. He was also really humble and unassuming. So in business, I think he wasn't the one out there doing the promotion and the sales or anything. He was more, let's take care of the details and behind the scenes. So he partnered with another gentleman, a prominent member in the community, KJ Luke. And I think they probably had a good partnership because one was more outgoing, and then the other one was a little bit more behind the scenes, and they had complementary skill sets.
They had developed the Airport Industrial Park. They had developed the Shafter subdivision, the Tripler subdivision, the Mauna Loa Valley subdivision, the Red Hills subdivision, the Salt Lake subdivision. You got the bank going. He was on the kitchen cabinet for Governor Burns, Mayor Neil Blaisdell, who's also a St. Louis graduate, and George Ariosha, who succeeded Governor Burns. And so, yes, he was very influential. He was part of the group, but he was always in the background, and he was extremely successful. So he wanted to give back to the community. So he bought 20 acres of land downtown Honolulu, from King Street to Vineyard Boulevard, from Lilia Street to Ala Street. Built 822 freestanding apartments and donated it. And he called it Kukui Gardens. The rents were very low, and it afforded something that was really needed in Hawaii. They donated it to charity. He formed a foundation called the Clarence T.C. Ching Foundation. to give back to the community.
My grandfather had a lot of foresight. His plan was once the Kukui Gardens were sold, the proceeds would go into the foundation. And I was told that he actually thought the sale would be about $20 million back then. But it did sell for $132 million. So that's the price of, the real estate in Hawaii. And I think he would be surprised, but proud of what the foundation has been able to accomplish. And hopefully it's in perpetuity and we can continue doing the bright things and keeping that message out about doing well and giving back to the community.
Clarence died in 1985. The property was sold in 2007 by the trustees. I can tell you that when he formed his foundation, the Clarence T.C. Ching Foundation, in it he provided that all the funds from this foundation will go to Hawaii residents. This is where he made his home. This is where he wanted all of his funds to go to.
It's basically helping the disadvantaged, children, families. Education is a really big thing. Healthcare is another big one, but it's pretty broad. And it's more about the need in the community. And fortunately, we have a lot of great nonprofit organizations here doing wonderful things to help our community. It's a blessing to be on the board, to be able to support these organizations doing the good work that Hawaii needs.
He did not want to have the limelight. I'm sure if he were alive, I'm not sure he would love to see his name spread around like it did. But we thought it was very important to the people of Hawaii that they have a role model to follow, to give also back to the community.
And honestly, I think he would be a little bit surprised, I'm maybe embarrassed, I'm not sure if that's a little too strong a word, to see his name on different buildings, like the PBS building. I think it is important for people in the state of Hawaii to hear about a story and someone being successful, but also thinking about how he can leave a legacy and how he can help the community. I think that's key. I think more people need to do it in our community. And that'll make Hawaii a stronger place.
He was special, humble, compassionate, honorable. That's how I would describe him.
Growing up, we would have these extended family parties, get dinners for holidays and all of that. And because I was young at the time, I didn't have a lot of opportunities to sit down and talk to my grandfather. I wish I did. As you get older, you really want to pick someone's brain. But it's all about integrity and doing what you say you're going to do and building relationships, because in the end, whether it's family relationships, friends, coworkers, that's what makes a person have a fulfilling life, is to have healthy relationships, that are supportive. That's really resonated with me as I try to live my life. I think my grandfather would be very proud of how much the foundation has been able to accomplish over the years, because it really is about doing what's right for the community. And we've been fortunate to be able to do that.
Mahalo for joining us. Because of you, we are able to share stories that explore our history, highlight innovations, and inspire. If you would like to support our mission to advance learning and discovery, go to pbshawaii.org and click on the Donate Now button. For Home is Here, I'm Kala'i Miller. Ahui ho.